So with huge reservations, against my better judgment, and seeing the writing on the wall, I'm going to get my mother a cell phone, exactly like mine. I can just add a second line to the consumer cellular. You get a little bit of a discount. Not much of a discount for the second line, but, you know, instead of paying 20 plus tax, or we pay 50. It's going to be a Christmas present. It's against my better judgment, though. I'm going to go get it. I like to record stuff in case there's a hole in these, so I'm not showing it, but just in case it accidentally. That's why I wear the skirt over it. Anyhow. I visited my mom. She's crying about coming home for Christmas. You can't do that, Mom. I have no way to have you come home. Not to mention the fact that I wouldn't say I'm not ready to have her come home, okay? Then I have physical therapists, different one than I talked to over the goddamn fucking phone in the family meeting that I didn't have include my mom because I don't fucking have to. Saying, oh, your mom's doing great. She practically did the bathroom herself and blah, blah, whatever. And then I took her aside and said, well, your colleague told me over the phone my mother will never be able to toilet herself again. Oh, no, well, but then she's like, but she can come home now. Meanwhile, I told you, the department, whatever it is, I don't know anything anymore because I'm being ganged up on and the whole fucking shit, okay? With the government not, respecting that, but they don't know. They know I'm the invoked healthcare proxy, and they're just, brushing that aside. But they don't know that I'm the durable power of attorney as well. And we did this all, they know now, because they're snooping around like they always do, okay? They're snooping around, and they don't know shit. And my mother will sit there and say, so-and-so visited me. So-and-so says, you cannot handle your own finances. I am the only reason you are not in a nursing home, okay? I had power of life of death over you and chose to have them save you, okay? I've had doctors say, I'm the only reason you're alive. I've had them all compliment me what a good daughter I am, and I take, you know what I mean? I don't need anybody who doesn't know shit filling my mom's head with ideas because they all have ulterior motives. I'm not going to elaborate. It's the same old shit. As the invoked healthcare proxy, I got rid of it all, and as far as I know online, it's voluntary. So, but they're going to throw their weight around and say this, that, or whatever when they don't have a clue about our situation and have never met my mom before. I'm tired of this fucking shit. Tired of it. I'm just tired of it, period. I'm tired, period. As Joe would sarcastically say, and we've repeatedly seen this over and over and over again, my mother is deemed the most incompetent human being imaginable. Okay, I have legal paperwork from X, Y, and Z. Remember, when she's been hospitalized too much and it comes from something or other, they approved her for 90 days. I have the nursing home being dismissive of that. Well, in our experience, the person they're just dismissive of that, okay? I don't know which way is up, down, backwards, forwards. I had no problem in the other facility. I had nobody breathing down my neck either. But anyway, as Joe would sarcastically point out, as I've sarcastically pointed out, my mother's the most incompetent human being imaginable unless you have ulterior motives and you are, and you know what I mean? You have ulterior motives trying to go after whatever, and then if she says anything against me, she's the most competent human being on the planet. Again, anything she says, she wants to throw her weight around. I'm visiting her. She's demanding a credit card, wants to send people Christmas presents. She's in a nursing home. She's demanding a phone, all right? She's saying X, Y, and Z, says I can handle my own finances. You have been on death's door even more than once, hooked, you know what I mean? I'm tired of it. Legally, I'm everything short of her guardian. The same as was the case with my aunt for years. Nobody was ever breathing down her neck about anything. They respected her. I do everything and then some for my mother, okay? She's not having a credit card in the fucking nursing home. She's deemed incompetent for a reason. She doesn't suddenly become not incompetent because you have ulterior motives against me. She finally got a shower after a month. Her bed alarm, chair alarm wasn't working. She loves it not working. She doesn't like the noise. She's like, I hate that noise. I come in and she's like, I unplugged it, or they unplugged it for me. They said, blah, blah, blah. And then I went to the director and she's like, do you really think one of our aides unplugged it? So she came in and she said, oh, it's just a dead battery. It wasn't even a fucking dead battery, by the way. But she's like, oh, it's just a dead battery. And I said, well, they should pay attention to that stuff. But we can't predict when it's going to happen. But then it turned out I tested it again. But again, if I wasn't visiting, I wasn't supposed to visit yesterday. It was miserable weather all day. It wasn't supposed to start till the night. Coming home was a bitch and a half. Again, one wrong move and that, But I do feel bad for my mother. In the other place, because she had no phone available to her, she just is like, well, I can't have a phone. There's no phone. In this place, she's not able to use it. And that sucks. I witnessed it. You have to do it fast. If she doesn't do it fast enough, she gets a busy signal for everybody, and that's frustrating. Okay, that's sad for her that you have a phone you can't use. But the director said that tell the aides they won't, Laura, they won't, and I know that's what's happening. I want to call so and so. They won't do it. They will do it for the daughter. The invoked healthcare proxy. They won't do it for anyone else, and it doesn't matter. You can't force them. It's always whatever's happening in that giving moment. I know my mom's telling the truth. She asked the aides to help her with the phone. The roommate used to help her, even against their wishes. They won't help her dial anyone but me. And she can't use the phone. I witnessed it. She can't do it fast enough. And if you don't do it fast enough, and go fast enough, you're going to get a busy signal. And someone even confirmed that with me who works there. So my mom has a phone she can't use, and that's just sad. So I'm going to, against my judgment, I know something's going to happen. It's going to get stolen. It's going to drop, whatever. I'm going to get her an identical, the cheapest phone you can get, this consumer cellular that I have. I'm going to get it for her. I am going to get it for her. All right? But I want to know something else that's sad. That's reality that Mama doesn't understand, and it just is all killing me continuously. I'm just so tired of it. And they try to trick you, and I let my guard down, but I'm smart enough to catch it. A long conversation with Joe. It doesn't matter who they is. Take a guess who they always is. They're sniffing around. They're whatever, okay? As usual, trying to trick me, trying to worm their way back in after Anyhow, my mom can't use a phone that's there, and that I can put myself in the shoes. She wants to call people. Well, guess what? Roommate told me she would try to stop my mom from calling someone in the middle of the night. If my mom, I'm gonna get her phone, but you know what's gonna happen? If she continuously calls people because she's bored, they're just like they did in the house. I already confirmed it after she was in the hospital, in the nursing home, and I couldn't reach people on her phone. It was blocked. She doesn't grasp that. Why are people not getting back to me? They're not getting your voicemails. She would call up and ramble for 5 minutes. She would call up and sing to them. They just simply blocked her number. They'll do the same fucking thing in here, and then I'll get, like, I leave voicemails and no one calls me back, Laura. Yeah, and nobody's calling her in there. The sister's visiting her. The sister gave her some clothes, chocolate. That's great. Whatever. My mom's trying to throw her weight around wanting the piano teacher to come and give her a lesson. It's my money. I want to have the piano. You can't have a piano lesson in the fucking nursing home. Why not? I want a credit card. So-and-so says I can handle my own finances. So-and-so can take a flying hike. I have legally dotted all I's, crossed all T's. Get the fuck out of my face. I appreciate you approving my mom. It's a federal law that when you've been hospitalized, but you know, that's great. You approved her for up to 90 days, but they're not even respecting that. They're being dismissive of that and thinking she's going to be out much sooner, that Medicare won't pay for it in their experience. And now they're, you know, they didn't do this last time, but now they're trying to worm their way back into the outside life. We were doing just fine without you. My mother does have to have a psychiatrist, but I could get her a psychiatrist. Her 17-year primary care physician put in repeated referrals for a psychiatrist. It's just that every time they got back to us, you know, to do intake, you know, because it takes months. You call up, you put on a waiting list, and in the meantime, her doctor does the psych meds. In the meantime, we was to sell his place and move. In the meantime, I'm legally everything, and I still have these motherfuckers trying to worm their way back in. And talking to my incompetent mother behind my back. Like Joe says, good thing your mom has diarrhea of the mouth. Otherwise, you'd never know anything, and you'd let your guard down, and you'd trust. And then my mom says so-and-so this and so-and-so that. I'm like, yeah. Why am I not surprised? As Joe and I put it, you know, who knows what my mom's saying? She doesn't say things because she doesn't love me. She wants to think everything's fine with her. She never would have fallen and broken her fucking hip had she listened to me and not stayed up like a young teenage girl banging around in her room with her walker and hanging things up and not going back to bed and all of that. And then even the next day not taking a nap. I'm probably going to have to talk to an attorney. Okay? I can, you know, they're going to say that my mom, okay, then I'm here all the time. If my mother has to have, you know, that someone has to be here all the time and to help her go to the bathroom, whatever, that's what we'll do temporarily, you know, but while I'm thinking of something, you know what I mean? But I always have to have people sniffing around and throwing their weight around and saying this and filling my mom's head with ideas that simply are not fucking true. Okay? They are not fucking true. Not in any universe. So it's a good thing I went yesterday. My mom is good. Like Joe says, at least you find shit out. People talk to your mom behind your fucking back, fill her head with ideas, and you find out about it because she throws her weight around with you, Laura, and says this, that, or whatever, and demanding. Out of kindness. I don't think she should have I think something's going to happen to it, but I'm going to get it for her. No, why not? I'll just get it for her. But I'm going to tell her, I already told her, you're going to have this phone if anything happens to it. stolen or broken, you will not get another one. You will not get another one. I talked to them. There are people who have the phone in there. And I said, how come they have it? Because they had it when they came in, you know. But I'm going to get my mother a phone, cheap phone, add it on to my current line. And we'll see what happens. Let's see if this phone lasts. And she has it, and it's great. And she gets to have it when she comes home. But if things are voluntary with a person, that you can't do anything unless you take to court or whatever, and again, I'm already long established as this, that, whatever, all right? You really going to go down that route, motherfuckers? Then it's also voluntary. If it's not the person, it's the person's representative, the person's invoked healthcare proxy. Voluntary. Voluntary. And if I'm being told otherwise, there's something going wrong here, okay? Something like Joe says, you need to go higher up. You need to go to people's bosses. Everybody reports to somebody. You need to get everything in writing. And also, if someone says, this is my personal cell phone, Joe's like real smart. He's like, if that's somebody who has a personal cell phone and is given that to you, it means they don't have an office. They might not even be a part of X, Y, and Z. They might be like contracted out or something or other. Because why would you give someone your personal cell phone? Unless, if you know, usually when it's you can call only during business hours and if, you know, or leave messages on the weekend. So that's fishy too. The fact is, I've repeatedly said this, when you're a stranger, you know nothing about our situation. You know nothing at all. You're trying to get my permission to find out everything. I don't have to give it. I don't have to give it, at least from what I'm reading online. But who knows? Who knows anything anymore? I'm just so tired of this shit. It's just always something. Always something, you know? It's always something. That's all. It's always fucking something. Always revolves around me not being respected. That's all. That would change if we had got already to Joe's. Even church women told me before, like, even if we move, like, even if you don't move and you get, she was telling me, you know, get your mom with a new psychiatrist. You don't have to tell them anything about, and she used her family, you don't have to tell them anything about previous things. You can do it voluntarily. You don't have to. You don't have to tell anybody shit. People can't just do things to you. Or force you to sign shit. And in this case, if I'm the legal representative, I'm the invoked healthcare proxy. My mother's deemed incompetent. You can't force me to be involved with you either. But they'll do it. They'll throw their fucking weight around. I'm tired of it. So, out of kindness, I'm going to go and get my mother a phone. Only because I could put myself in her shoes. And she never cared when she was in a place that had no phone. But to have a phone and not be able to use it, yeah, that sucks. I agree. That's really sucks. That's not fun. That's not, no, you know, so... But so I ended up being happy, even though, again, one wrong move, I came home in a bad weather. Walking, you know, quite a distance, in bad weather. And, you know, but I visited my mom for a few hours. And I found out someone had visited her behind my back. I'm just, ugh. It just only reinforces, don't trust, you know. Do not trust the you know what, okay? It's a federal law that they have to have an evaluation. It's a federal law that they have to have evaluation of my mom when somebody gets put into a nursing facility and has severe mental illness like my mom. That's a federal law, okay, that they have to do that. And I was happy they approved the 3 months, up to 3 months, etc. And I had a long conversation. But that doesn't carry over to when the person's outside the facility. You understand? As far as I know, having any of those services or whatever is fucking voluntary. That's what it says online. But again, people try to throw their weight around. And I don't even know which is up or down. But I'm being told X, Y, and Z. And somebody different visited my mom per the person who original approved the other thing. And I'm like, what the goddamn fuck? Like, behind my back? You're talking to my mom and filling her with ideas when you don't know our situation? Just like it's irresponsible, it's non-professional. And I know my mom's not lying about it. And I should have been, I thought I'm the invoked healthcare proxy. I should have been told if this was going to happen, you know. I'm done. I'm not going to trust. I'm not going to sign shit. I'm not going to trust. You're not going to find out shit. You did this behind my back. You're not being upfront with me. I'm trusting you and talking to you because I figure it's going to be just like it was when she was in the other place. And no, we'll see. We'll see. Whatever. Like I said, this is why we got a fucking letter of competency. This is why our attorney said get a letter of competency when I told them all the goddamn fucking shit, including things I can't tell you, things that would blow your mind, but also things about the sister and things about this and things about that. Some of you recall the attorney sat in our home, came here because we would have to go by public transportation to his office far away, and which we did do, and we signed all the paperwork in front of like 4 witnesses who all vouched for my mother's competency. But that wasn't even, we even went further than that. All alone, she met with her longtime primary care physician who had no problem, okay, writing a letter of competency for my mother. There are tons of people that do estate planning way ahead of time because people who don't get, to prepare for a time when the person winds up being incompetent. And then you can't do it anymore. It was done 5+ fucking years ago. Everyone knows what the 5+ years ago means in terms of, of assets. The look back period is 5 fucking years. And actually for me, because I spent so many years taking care of her, and because I'm disabled, okay, it's a no-brainer. But that doesn't mean I would just put my mom in some shithole or whatever. But I don't have to have anybody involved in my fucking decisions. I don't have anyone involved in my goddamn fucking decisions about my mother. Anybody from the 4-letter word. And I know that I don't. That's why people have attorneys. That's why tons and tons and tons and tons of people do fucking estate planning. Okay? With their I've known people that did estate planning. where everything was put in the name of the children and the parents do that and blah, you know what I mean? I'm just so tired of having to deal with this fucking shit where people are trying to step into our lives who know shit, know nothing, want me to sign stuff so they can know everything, and trying to trick me and go behind my back and meet with my mom and fill her head with ideas. Compelling me to think, yet again, I need a fucking attorney. Like, what the hell? Leave me the fuck alone. Mother does not have any say anymore. As I said in an email, my mother was is deemed incompetent for a reason. You're sitting there telling her she can handle her own finances and everything else so she could throw her weight around with me. I'm the only goddamn reason she's even still alive. So yeah, I'm going out and it's not good weather today. I could slip and fall, which is why I do these videos ahead of time. I would have just have relaxed. Instead, I'm going to go get my mother a phone against my better judgment because I feel bad for her. I feel bad for her. It's that simple. I feel bad for her. She didn't miss what she thought she couldn't have. In the other place, I'm sure she could have had a phone probably, but I wasn't going to give her a phone, but there was no phone available, the shithole, to the residents. But here she's got a phone and she's unable to use it. And that's just fucking sad. I gave her a list of numbers, but remember, but it's going to go further than that. What's going to happen is she's going to bug people and they're just going to, nobody even calls her. They don't call her. All right? The decades-long friend visited her. The sisters has visited her. Okay? And then my mom's like, can I go to the sister has her own life, her own family. I can tell that, no, you need 24/7 care. The sister's not going to have you come home with her for Christmas. I understand it sucks. Everything sucks. My heart is continually breaking for my mother. All right? Continuously. She's unable to grasp that. That's her mental illness. She's unable to grasp it. Okay? It's her mental illness. We called up Joe. Can you send me such and such this? The roommate had pants from LLB, which are expensive. And again, I told you my mom was wearing the roommate's clothes. And Joe's unemployed. Joe doesn't know if he's going to lose his house or what he's going to do. And I said, Joe, she doesn't know any better. I mean, I forgive her for that. Her illness causes her to whatever. But we said something to her, Joe and me. Like, you know, you don't call up somebody to say hi and whatever and ask them to send you a gift.